Welcome back. Election Day just 5 days away. We continue our look at Campaign 2020 live via Zoom this morning with Lieutenant Governor and Democratic gubernatorial candidate Mike Cooney. Good morning, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Casey. It's great to be joining you once again.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with 5 days to go, what's your schedule like coming up?
Yeah, this is a really important election. We're going to be working very hard, getting out, having conversations with people throughout the state. Of course, being very careful during this pandemic. This is an important election. There's great differences between my opponent and myself. We're going to be talking about all the things that I've been able to accomplish in my public service, making sure we increase access to public lands, making sure that we protect 1 in 10 Montanans to continue to have health care, making sure we do proper investment in public education so our kids can continue to, really strive in this state and be prepared to be the next workers of tomorrow. We've got a lot on our plate, and getting us through this COVID crisis, getting the economy back up and running, and making sure that we do it in a way that people can be healthy and really make progress and whip this virus.
Do you have specific stops you'll be making in certain cities?
Yeah, we've got stops in a number of different cities. I mean, throughout the state, and I'm looking forward to it. That's the way we've campaigned already through this campaign. Even with COVID, you figure it out. You do smaller crowds. You wear your mask. You socially distant. And we've been able to be very successful to reach out, listen to Montanans throughout this campaign, and hear what they have to say. And I think we're making great progress. Frankly, my opponent and I, there's differences. I've raised more money from individuals than he has. He had to write a $4 million check the other day, and I'm counting on the people of Montana and people who love Montana, and it's really turned out. I think momentum's on our side.
Now, normally this would be the most crucial stretch, but we're seeing a record number of votes already in. Over 80% of the total number we saw in 2016 have been cast. So did that change your strategy to try to get messages out sooner?
Well, I think, in Montana, we've used mail balloting for a long time. People have been able to sign up for no excuse absentee balloting. So this has changed a long time ago. You have to get your message out early, and then you have to keep driving it throughout the campaign. And that's exactly what we've been doing. And I think it's really worked well for us. We don't expect to outspend our opponent. We know we're going to be outspent. We outwork them. We're going to have people on the ground touching base, knocking on doors, making sure that every ballot gets turned in. And I just want to remind the people, now we're just 5 days from the election. If you haven't mailed your ballot in, if you haven't done it now, please don't mail it, walk it in, drive it in. They have drop-off boxes around the counties and throughout the state. And I encourage people to go and check that out and make sure they personally deliver their ballot. We want to make sure every ballot gets counted.
We've been talking about a new MSUB poll yesterday that has you even with Congressman Gianforte. What was your reaction to those numbers?
Well, honestly, we've been seeing this occur over the last several polls. I mean, I've been down a little bit, always within the margin of error, but we've continued to see this climb, and now we're exactly where we thought we would need to be 5 days out. We've got momentum. My opponent has kind of been sitting at that number for a long, long time. And remember, he has spent $7.5 million in this campaign alone out of his own pocket. So we haven't been able to spend that amount of money, but I can tell you this, I think that the people of Montana are paying close attention. They're concerned about what's going to happen to public lands, what's going to happen to their public education, what's happening to the health care in this state. And they see great differences between my positions on these items as compared to him. And I think they're going to speak out loud and clear.
Finally, what are your plans for next Tuesday?
Win. We're going to win this thing, and we're going to be in Helena celebrating a very small group of people. Again, COVID has changed all of this, but we're going to be sitting back, and we think, obviously this is going to be a nail biter, but we see the way things are going. We're looking forward to a great victory, and then the next day hitting the ground running, getting ready to form a new government and start dealing with the issues that we know the people of Montana want to deal with. And let me just say, if I may, one minute, Casey, COVID, let's not forget, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I want to make sure people are wearing their masks. And I'd like to put politics aside for a minute. I'd like to challenge and call on my friend, Mr. Gianforte, to join me in encouraging all Montanans to do everything they need to protect themselves and to wear a mask And I think that we need to make sure this virus doesn't become any more political. Let's come together. Let's whip this virus. Let's get the economy going.
All right. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney. Thank you for being with us this morning. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Casey, and you all stay well.
Thank you. You as well.